All right, today we're going to be talking about access to sustainable energy through the use of nanotechnology. My name is Yusuf.
My name is Victor.
I'm Amar.
And I'm Oindesola.
For our agenda, we have the introduction, the background, the main content, the discussion, and the conclusion.
Introduction. Sustainable energy has been a struggle for many people due to the lack of affordability. This means that many facilities and institutions have a high electric demand and are leaning towards a more efficient and sustainable source. Nanotechnology is one of the many solutions that can tackle this challenge, and it has been noticeable. We also realize that this sort of technology is expensive due to the material slash installation costs. This means that the current research suggests that producers should make the use of nanotechnology to generate such that technology as they require less materials to make and they come to an affordable price. So we have an image right here of a nano solar panel that shows how it can sustain sustainable energy. In the background, we talk about access to sustainable energy sources that require a significant amount of technology. Many have already been used and are already being implemented. An example would be a solar panel, which I showed you guys in the previous slide, which is known to use solar energy to help generate electricity. Affordability, however, is that this technology is advanced and costly, which creates the challenge of implementing this nanotechnology. Will help to resolve this issue since it requires less to make. This implementation will be more efficient as nanotechnology in recent studies show that both the cost efficient and effectiveness in terms of functionality in long term. Our problem statement is access to sustainable energy is a struggle due to the lack of affordability, efficiency, and innovation.
Now, the question then becomes, why nanotechnology? Well, there's a lot of things we took into consideration to tackle the issue. However, we broke it down to three important things. Those would include cost efficiency, the way it's being implemented, and how sustainable the device is. For cost efficiency, the production costs are going to be very low. That is due to the amount of resources required, which is very minimal. The reason for that is the nanotechnology is measured on a nanoscale, 10 to the negative 9. Now that leads straight into our implementation. You'll notice on the diagram below that there's a photovoltaic device. That device is broken down into cells. Each of those cells can be replaced with a nanomaterial, and each of those nanomaterial can have nanotechnology implemented in them. Although it does sound complicated, the time it takes to implement that sort of technology is going to be less compared to the regular implementation. Again, because of the resources required. Now, you'll notice that there are also other sources of sustainable energy. And how will we deal with that? Well, similar strategies can be used for wind energy and hydro energy and so on and so forth. Now, we mentioned cost efficiency and implementation. That will lead to how sustainable the device is. Now, we mentioned those things. The uses of the nanotechnology will have a long-term effect. Now, a side note here, the nanotechnology can also be used as a technology helper. What that means is it can improve the overall functionality of the original device. So it will power up the equipment even more or gather the energy further, which would improve the overall functionality of the device.
Discussion. Although nanotechnology is one of the many solutions to tackle the issue of sustainable electricity generation, it still does not meet all the criteria that are met, such as logistics, assembly, and commissioning. This is because nanotechnology is overall not easy to implement. The overall cost and difficulty of manufacturing can also be a big turnoff, as some countries may not be able to afford such technology. However, As nanotechnology is continuously being researched to this day, there is a lot of room and potential for the technology to improve and innovate. As the technology and therefore the materials are on a nanoscale, the difficulty in manufacturing costs can be compensated by the minimal use of physical resources. For example, carbon nanotubes are a type of nanotechnology utilizing carbon atoms in a hexagonal formation to form a tube. This allows for a very strong structure, yet with a minimal amount of resources used, in this case, carbon. A good way to visualize just how small nanotechnology can be is to compare it to other objects that are multiple times bigger. In this example, we can see that a single strand of hair is 100,000 times bigger than a single wall carbon nanotube. And to put that into perspective, a house would be 100,000 times bigger than a single strand of hair. This just goes to show just how small nanotechnology can get.
And for the conclusion, the issue of affordability and efficiency are major challenges faced in order to gain access to sustainable energy. This is because due to the technological advancement of the world, it has become a necessity to have this technology. By understanding the challenges, we're able to categorize this technology and help analyze the results and aid problem solving. This will give us an overall view of the performance as well as the benefits and drawbacks. This project targets the UN Sustainability Goal 7, which is to provide affordable and clean energy to the world. This will enable this technology to be implemented in developing countries. Nanotechnology as a source of sustainable energy is an affordable and effective solution. Further research can enable engineers to produce nanotechnology, and this will help to reduce drawbacks. These are the references used in this report, and thank you.